states will as well. I don't know whether there'll be an inauguration. I know that there has to be a lot of work. I know there are questions that remain as to exactly where the person who's elected president will actually take the oath of office. But I don't know that there needs to be a great deal of ceremony. I think what needs to happen is we need to get down to the work of seeing jobs created, seeing the economy recover, and making sure that peace and stability exists and greater freedoms for the people of Egypt. A new constitution. Well, obviously, a constituent assembly needs to put together the constitution, and there need to be parliamentary elections.
أنا أتطلع إن أنا بنفسي أهنئ الرئيس القادم وأكيد الرئيس أوباما كمان، لكن طبعا هو في لسه أسئلة عن إحنا قدام مين وفين، لكن أهم من إن إحنا نعمل فين هو نبتدي نشتغل على طول، نحط فرص عمل، الاقتصاد إن هو يبتدي ينتعش، الاستقرار والسلام يعم في هذه البلد.
And I think that both Mohamed Morsi and Ahmed Shafiq are aware of the fact that those elections need to take place and there needs to be a constitution put into place as soon as possible.
Mr. Dreier, 25 TV.
Oh, what do you mean? You don't have to tell me. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows 25 TV.
إذا اعترض المواطنين المصريين أو الشعب المصري على نتيجة الانتخابات، ما موقف الولايات المتحدة منه؟
What is the conclusion or what the position of the United States if the Egyptian people object to the result of the elections?
Well, you know, I've got to say that I believe that there are going to be some questions that will be raised, and the Presidential Electoral Council and the judicial process, as I said, needs to run its course. But I think that, again, realizing that there's no such thing as a perfect election, every Egyptian can acknowledge that there have been tremendous improvements from what took place in the last presidential election in this country. And I hope that we'll be able to see, again, stability as we proceed. And people need to remember, once you've got a democratic system, once you have a democratic system, you're going to have a next election. And so sometimes if an election doesn't turn out the way you like, the way to deal with it is the next election.
أنا أعتقد الأسئلة دي حل عن طريق الانتخابات الانتخابات والقضاء، لكن خليني أقول لك إنه أي انتخابات في الدنيا ممكن يحصل فيها كده، لكن الانتخابات مش آخر المطاف، مفيش انتخابات مثالية، في انتخابات تانية جاية اللي ما عجبوش نتيجة انتخابات معينة، في انتخابات تانية جاية ممكن تطلق.
It is fair election, sir. Can you say that this position that this election is fair enough?
I can't make that judgment. I can't make the judgment as to whether or not it's a fair election. What I've said, yeah, what I've observed is that what I've observed, a witness, well, you know, in English the terminology observer, witness, monitor, to me they all mean about the same thing. They all mean about the same thing in English to me. But I have been witnessing voters who are very happy and enthused about the process. Now I know that there are many people who are not happy. I've been here for a week and I've had a chance to listen to people who are not happy. But I believe that the determination as to whether or not this has been a free and fair election is one that needs to be resolved by the people of Egypt, and I'm happy to share thoughts about things that I have seen. But again, I think it's important to recognize that a huge step forward has been made from, well, let me put it this way. I don't think that any presidential candidate will get 90% of the vote in this election, and so that to me is a positive indication of improvement.
أنا كمتابع أو كمراقب أو كأي ترم بتستخدمه ما أقدرش أقول فعلا كانت انتخابات نزيهة ولا، اللي أنا شفت إن الناس بتدرك أصواتها، وأنا أقول إن أي من المرشحين مش ممكن ياخدوا 90% يحصلوا على 90%، وهذا بحد ذاته شيء إيجابي، لأن معنى كده إن في ناس بتصوت للاثنين، فده شيء بالنسبة لي إيجابي، لكن الناس المصريين يعترفوا إن في انتخابات حصلت، وده شيء مهم جدا في حياة مصر.
بس دراير، هل تم رصد انتهاكات جسيمة أثناء مراقبتها للانتخابات؟
During your monitoring, did you detect any grave irregularities or violations?
I cannot say. I encountered what I would consider to be very minor irregularities, but nothing that I saw was serious. But again, there are different reports that have come in from around the country. And if there are any problems, I still believe that we've seen a positive step forward, and I believe that those who launched the January 25th revolution, many of whom I know are not happy with the choices they ended up with, but I do believe that they have made great strides from where this country was under Hosni Mubarak.
مخالفات بسيطه جدا اللي انا شفتها اثناء، لكن انا عارف ان في تغيير غير كده، لكن اللي انا اقدر اقوله ان ثوار 25 قدروا يحركوا هذه البلد، وحصل تقدم كتير قوي من ساعه 25 لغايه النهارده، رغم ان هم زعلانين مش مبسوطين بالنتيجه اللي احنا وصلنا لها.
طب is the United States a bit more about the Muslim Brotherhood being defeated over the Arab countries?
Well, let me just say this point on the Muslim Brotherhood. I happen to believe that the people of Egypt should be making this choice, and I have had meetings with members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and they have provided assurances to me of a commitment to individual rights, religious freedom, the rights of women, the rights of minorities, the development of democratic institutions, and an overall commitment to an international norm of the rule of law. That's a commitment that they've made to me in numerous meetings that I've had. And so, inshallah, we will be able to see that come forward.
انا الرساله للاخوان المسلمين في الدول العربيه للاخوان المسلمين هو انا هرجع بعض اعضاء الاخوان المسلمين هم اكدوا لي على الحريات الشخصيه، حقوق المراه، حقوق العقيده، حريه الاديان، وحريه القانون، الحكم بالقانون، وانا اتمنى ان ده يكون هيحصل.
وما رايك في حل مجلس الشعب؟
Well, obviously the Constituent Assembly is going to be very important to put together a constitution, we hope, just as soon as possible. That's a very important thing that must be done, and there also need to be parliamentary elections. And speaking of elections, what I'm planning to do now, since it's 21 minutes after 10, is, and you're happy to join me, I'm looking forward to going in to witness the counting of ballots, which is always a very, very exciting thing. And aren't you all interested in seeing who's going to win this election? We have to go inside and see them start counting ballots. Yeah, it is hot. Sorry.
اهم شيء ان هو لجنه ترسيل الدستور تتكون وتكتب الدستور، في انتخابات برلمانيه ثانيه
بس انت تضرب نص الكتف كده.
لازم يخش يحضر فرز الاصوات، يشوف مين اللي هيكسب ان شاء الله. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Dreier.
Oh, shukran.